Sugar is poison, seed oils are killing you, testosterone is crashing, hormones are wrecked, dairy is inflammatory, raw milk will cure you, gluten is toxic, carnivore fixes everything, carnivore will kill you, plants are trying to kill you, vegan is the answer, fasting is magic, fasting is dangerous, carbs spike insulin, insulin builds muscle, fat clogs arteries, fat is a superfood, more protein, less protein, whey makes you fat, creatine, peptides, HIIT, zone 2, lymphatic drainage, oil pooling, VO2 max, grip strength, fiber, detox, cold plunge, sauna, red light, sleep hygiene, sun your butthole and drink your pee. This is the fitness industry. A multi-billion-dollar machine built on confusion and fear. Today, I'm going to tell you something the industry doesn't want you to hear. Getting in great shape is simple. Simple just doesn't sell supplements. I'm Sean, former Green Beret turned dad bod destroyer, and I've worked with Hollywood actors, special operators, and helped hundreds of busy dads get lean, strong, and disciplined without gimmicks, drugs, or drinking your own pee. Sorry, I just can't get over how crazy people do that, you know? Look at this guy.
I've been drinking my own urine for 17 years.
That's nuts, don't do that. Today, I'm gonna give you the cheat sheet to getting in great shape as a busy dad. Whether you wanna cut or bulk, this program works. By simply adjusting a few levers, you can do the same thing continuously and achieve whatever result you want. This could literally be the last YouTube video that you ever watch. I mean, I hope that you still watch more of mine, but everybody else, throw them out. If you apply what you're about to learn, this will get you jacked and shredded, and it will keep you jacked and shredded for life. Now, we need three things in order to become the fit dad that we want to be. We need a diet, we need weights, and we need movement. Now you may be thinking, but Sean, what about cardio? Chill, it's baked into the weights and the movement. We need to start with diet. Now we've all heard the saying, you can't out-exercise a bad diet. If you're like me, that saying makes you want to blow up a library. Don't though, libraries are cool. It's half because it's a cliche, but mostly because it's true. If you don't find a sustainable diet, it doesn't matter what you do in the gym, you will never have the body and the health that you want. The good news is, it can be super simple. First off, let's define what diet means, because there's two definitions here. First, you have a capital D diet. This is a restrictive form of eating to achieve weight loss. Think keto, Atkins, juice cleanse, etc. The second, the habitual daily food and drink a person regularly eats. This is your regular consumption. It could be Taco Bell and Sprite, or it could be steak and eggs. Doesn't matter. It's what you normally eat. Now, we do not want to do number one. Number one is why people yo-yo. Why they lose weight because they go on a diet, then they go off of that diet, and they gain the weight back because their diet sucks. What we want to address is your daily diet, the thing that you eat on repeat automatically. For busy dads, the diet you need to build has to be easy. It has to be able to be accomplished at a work lunch, at a restaurant, as you travel with your family. Otherwise, it's pointless. You cannot do something that is difficult or you do not like forever and sustain it. In my opinion, the best dad diet is whole foods. What's that mean? It means if it grows in the ground or it had a mother, you can eat it. If it's highly processed or was made in a lab, it's a no-go. So meat, veggies, fruits, eggs, nuts, seeds. I also count dairy and protein powder. These are minimally processed whole foods. Now, why does this work? Well, in study after study, we see that when people are given as much food as they want inside of the whole food category, they eat to satisfaction and still lose weight. And the reason is simple. Whole foods will fill you up before they make you fat. Now, you may be thinking, that diet sounds boring as fuck. Before you panic, you don't have to do this diet 100% of the time once you get to your goal. Once you're on maintenance, dude, my diet is 80% whole foods, 20% whatever I want. I do not feel restricted, I never feel hungry, and I eat what I enjoy. I can do a date night with my wife or go to a friend's party and eat whatever. But that's maybe 3 or 4 meals a week. Most of the time, it's steak and potatoes, chicken and veggies, fish and rice, eggs and fruit. Now, here's a massive hack for all the dads that want to skip wasting their Sundays meal prepping. In my family, we have 11 meals we rotate through regularly. We always double or triple the recipe for tonight's dinner, and that dinner or those leftovers become lunch for the next few days. It takes the thinking out of it, saves your brain power, and it makes you feel good. That's the key point of this diet or any diet. Once you get on something that you feel good doing, to compromise that feeling becomes ridiculous. It has to be really worth it for me to fuck around and eat some bullshit that's gonna make me feel bad. This diet does not just work for cutting, it also works for bulking. If you wanna gain weight, all I do is add more fats and increase portions. I add butter and olive oil to my meat and veggies. I get whole fat Greek yogurt, whole fat cheese. I go for the higher fat content on my ground beef. And I eat more rice and potatoes. When I want to cut, I buy low-fat yogurt, low-fat cheese, low-fat milk. I cut the butter out, I cut the oil out, and I keep the meals the same. This way, my family can continue to eat the same foods, everybody's enjoying what they're having, and I'm still getting my goal. This is how simple it can be. Now, one question I get all the time is, do I need to track calories? No, not necessarily. But if you've never done it, then it is worth doing at least once. In the Dad Unit, I make everybody track calories for the first 2 months. I do this because it raises your awareness to the values of the foods that you eat. So if you've never tracked calories, just do it for a couple of weeks. You'll learn a lot. Be like, whoa, that's a serving of sour cream? No wonder I'm fat. There's one metric that I would recommend tracking, but you could do it in your head, and that is protein. Protein is massive, whether you are on a cut or in a bulk. You want to be hitting 1 gram per pound of goal body weight. So if you're a big guy trying to cut down, you're trying to eat the grams of protein of your dream weight. If you're a little guy trying to bulk up, eat the grams of protein for your goal weight. So if you're losing, less. If you're gaining, more. All right, section 2, lifting weights. Why do we lift weights? Number 1, so we look awesome. Number 2, so that we can live long lives. High muscle mass is the number 1 predictor to quality of life late in life. So you can't skimp on this. Plus, when it comes to fat loss and looking the way that you want to look once it's gone, without lifting weights, it's never going to happen. Now, there are tons of programs that work, just like diets. You've got powerlifting, you've got bodybuilding splits, CrossFit, P90X. Tony Horton gets results, dude. Is that his name? Tony Horton? Doesn't matter. The question for busy dads is, what program is going to take the least amount of time and yield the biggest results? That is a full body split. We do this 3 days a week. That's all it takes. 1 hour per session or less. You can build muscle, you can cut fat, you can do both at the same time. No 6-day bro splits, no living at the gym. This is basic shit, and it works. Cool, Sean. What does full body split mean? All it means is that every workout you are going to hit a squat, you are going to hit a hinge, you are going to hit a push, you are going to hit a pull, and you are going to work core. Choose the exercise that you like the most for each of these movements. Do 3 to 4 hard sets. Keep the reps somewhere in between 6 to 12, not that it matters that much. Now, here's how you can supercharge this. Get some accessory work and some conditioning at the same time. Just add a circuit to the end of your workout. All it takes is 3 to 4 exercises in a row with no rest in between. I like to use a combo of something like the ski erg sprints with bicep curls and farmer's carries, or farmer's carries with lateral raises and tricep pushdowns, cable crunches. It doesn't really matter. You just want to get your heart rate up into zone 4 and leave the gym with a pump. One thing to note, and this is important to make this program work, you have to go hard. So many dudes don't get results after being in the gym for years, and that is because they exercise, they don't train. Exercising is where you get a little sweat and you move through the movements. You know, like in a workout class, you go fast, you're breathing hard, you think you're really working and you should see some results. That is not what makes your muscles change. What makes your muscles change is going hard when you are under load. Going hard enough that you legitimately need a rest afterwards. If you can go from one exercise to the next without rest, then the weights aren't heavy enough and you're not pushing hard enough. If you want more information on a 3-day full body split, I put a link in the bio or in the description down below. You can download that thing and follow exactly that program. It'll get you jacked and shredded. Now let's talk about movement. No, we're not gonna talk about yoga or those loons at functional patterns. I can't stand those guys. It's a cult. Don't fall for it. Today, we're talking about regular movement. This is just general activity. Let me explain something that almost nobody talks about properly, and that is NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. This is just a fancy way of saying all of the calories that you burn in a day outside of lifting or your formal workout. So walking to the car, pacing on a call, playing with your kids, tickle fights with your buddies, all of it counts. NEAT is actually responsible for burning the majority of your calories in your day. It is not your 60-minute lift. It is not your 20-minute Peloton ride. I don't care what your watch says. It's lying to you. The goal is to be as active as possible inside of those 14 hours. This is where that 10,000 steps a day comes in. 10,000 steps, there's no magic about 10,000. It is just a scoreboard for you to keep track of whether or not you're being a lazy asshole or an active person. That's it. That's the game when it comes to movement. Generally be active. This is the fastest way to accelerate fat loss without having any metabolic sacrifice. And this isn't just for cutting. Even if you're bulking, NEAT matters. Keeps your heart healthy, it improves insulin sensitivity, and it acts like a buffer so that your bulk doesn't turn into a sloppy, out of breath, puffy disaster. Don't add more to your schedule. Integrate movement into the time you already have. Park further away, take the stairs, walk during your kids' soccer practice, wrestle with your kids instead of scrolling. Build a life where sitting still all day feels weird. That's it. That's how simple being fit is. We eat whole foods, we lift weights 3 times a week, and we move as much as possible. Let me say this clearly. If you can't get in shape doing this, the problem isn't the program, it's that you're not executing it. There is no secret ingredient, no special program, no secret supplement. There's just consistency. The boring path works. Most men just aren't willing to walk it for 6 months without quitting. So before you buy a peptide, before you sun your butthole and drink your own pee, lift, eat, move. Keep it simple. Stay fit, men.